Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be about my secondhand wardrobe. So all of the clothing items that I own that are pre-loved by somebody else. I feel we are all on this sustainability journey and we're all trying to find ways to become more sustainable within our own lives. And within your wardrobe, obviously the most sustainable thing to do is to wear clothing that is already in that cycle rather than going out and buying something new. So today I'm going to show you one item that I picked up from a thrift shop, but most of the things that I'm about to show you are all actually from Jonathan's grandma. His grandma and gramps downsized their house mid last year, so I picked up a whole bunch of things from her at that point. Not just clothing items either, but that's what I'm going to be showing you today. And then earlier this year she unfortunately passed away. It did mean that I was able to pick up a few more pieces, mostly jewellery, which are absolutely beautiful and totally my taste when it comes to jewellery. And it's just something special that makes me think of her every time I wear one of those pieces. So I'm excited to show you what I've got. Let's get started. So first up I have three beautiful jumpers from Jonathan's grandma that I believe she knitted herself. These three pieces are some of my favorites in my entire wardrobe. So this first one here is blue with a white pattern on it, and it makes me think of winter in the snow. I just think it's stunning, and luckily Jonathan's grandma was petite like me, so it fits me really nicely, and the sleeve length is also not too long, which is something that quite often sleeves can be too long on me. I actually took this jumper to Japan with me when we went at the start of the year, and I think I only took two jumpers, so this was one of two jumpers that I decided to take with me, so it's in like half of my pictures in Japan. I absolutely love this. It is, I believe, made with real wool, as the other two that I'm about to show you are as well. This is probably my favorite out of the three just because of the color palette. I just love the light blue and the white together. I think it is so pretty and so beautiful for winter. This next one is dark green with this like arrow design on it, and I have actually found this a lot more versatile than I thought I would. This was one that I wasn't sure at the time if I would wear it enough to warrant me actually taking it home with me, but I absolutely have. I've had these three jumpers for 2 winters now, and I basically wear the three of them on rotation. This one in particular has a little bit more room to it, so in the body there's a bit more space, and also up the top of the arm there's a bit more space, but it does still come to a smaller part along the wrist. Still fits me really well. I wouldn't say these jumpers are cropped, but they don't have too much length to them, so they actually hit at a really good point on me. They're easy to tuck in without having too much excess material. And the third jumper is actually a cardigan, so it has buttons all the way down the middle that you can undo and wear it open as a cardigan, but I like them done up and just wearing it as a jumper. So this is a gorgeous orange jumper with brown detailing to it, and it also has this little floral print that goes up the sides and is also around the bottom and around the wrists as well. This one is the shortest in length, so this one I actually quite like wearing over dresses because it does hit just about at my waist, so I can almost wear this over dresses without having to wear a belt. And if I wear this with jeans, I actually don't have to tuck it in at the front because it hits just about where my jeans start. All three of these jumpers are really nice and thick, so they really do provide a lot of warmth in winter, and I always get compliments on all three of these jumpers because there's something colourful, there's something a little bit different, a little bit fun, and yeah, people always love them. Okay, moving on to a couple of things that I don't wear as much as those jumpers, but I do think that they're just stunning. I also have a couple of scarves from Jonathan's grandma that I have had for a little while now. So this is the first one here. It is this beautiful sheer material. In fact, it does say on the label that it is silk. So it is this beautiful dainty floral print. This to me is like the most perfect autumnal color palette, and I think it's just stunning, but I don't think I've actually worn it because if it's cold I tend to wrap myself up so much that I don't actually need a scarf, but I really do want to get wear out of this because I think it's so beautiful. So I do keep it in my wardrobe because even if I haven't worn it yet, I know that this is something that I'm always going to love. Eventually, I will remember to wear it at some point in autumn because I think that is the perfect time of year to wear this scarf. And I also have this one here, which you may have seen me style up in my previous video. This one is like a square shape rather than that previous one, which was like long and more scarf shaped. So it has this design in the middle, and then it's got the design around the edges as well. Again, I think this is very autumnal for its color palette. I believe this one is silk as well. Let me try and find the label. Yeah, 100% pure silk, and it's also made in India. So I imagine they would have picked this up when they were in India because they did a lot of traveling together. So definitely something special that needs to stay in the family, and I'm so pleased that I get to hold on to this for them. And again, something that I haven't worn yet, but I definitely can see myself wearing this in the future. I just need to remember to, because as I said, I dress myself up so warmly, and then by the time I go to put on a scarf, I'm too hot. So I just need to remember to wear the correct outfit so that I can get some use out of these. Speaking of scarves, I have one other one, and this is the one that is from an op shop or a thrift store if you're in America. So the one item in this video that's not picked up from Jonathan's grandma. So this is a pink scarf. Again, it's like long, and it has the tassels on the ends. It does have a tiny bit of staining on it, but by the time you kind of scrunch it up and stick it around your neck, you really can't see it. I don't think this one has a label on it anymore, but it's a really nice soft material. It could be a type of cotton, I suppose, but it's hard to know. But this one I've had, I think, for 4 winters actually. I have had this one for quite a long time, and I did get a lot of use out of this the first winter that I had it because it was the only scarf that I owned, and it was before I had discovered high neck jumpers. So I was still wearing jumpers that were like down here, which meant my neck was really cold in winter. So I was wearing this just about every single day for that first winter. I haven't worn it a whole lot recently for the same exact reason as those last 2 scarves. I've discovered high neck jumpers, which means that if I'm wearing one of those, I don't really have a need for a scarf. I think I might have worn this once this winter just been. Okay, back to some items that I've picked up from Jonathan's grandma. So actually the shirt that I'm wearing right now is one that I've picked up from Jonathan's grandma, and I think this is so stunning. Like, obviously it's one that she had for a long time, so it is quite an old shirt. But if you think about our trends and also the sort of timeless pieces that aren't going to go out of style, this is definitely something that is on trend at the moment, but also not something that's going out of trend. I know the kind of vintage, almost piratey vibe white shirts are really on trend at the moment, like the high neck, really ruffly, lacy shirts. And while that is a little OTT for me, this sort of shirt is the perfect balance because it kind of hints at that trend while also being something a lot more wearable that I'm going to be able to wear next year when the trend is not a trend anymore. So this one is a button-up blouse. It does have a v-neck, so there's no button up the very top here, which I think is so pretty. It has 3/4 length sleeves, which is just perfect for me, and it does have this beautiful broderie anglaise all the way through it. So you can see here there's these tiny little cutout details and this beautiful like design detailing on it. And being a button up, there's so many different ways you can style it. There's so many different ways you can even tuck it in. Previously I've worn it tucked all the way into a skirt, but today I've done like the half tuck where it's tucked on one side and left out on the other side, and I love that kind of really relaxed vibe. This is another shirt that I picked out more recently. So this is a beige ribbed t-shirt. It is a little oversized on me, it's a bit boxy, but I really like it actually with the skirt that I'm wearing at the moment. I think I did style this up with the skirt recently in a video for you guys, and I just kind of tuck it in at the front, and again it has that relaxed, loose-fitting, oversized vibes. I wasn't sure when I picked this up that I would actually get a whole lot of use out of it, but I think you just can't go wrong with a nice neutral item because this is going to go with absolutely everything. Another couple of things now that I haven't worn, even though I've had them for over a year, I've got a couple of these slip skirts that are designed to be worn underneath something see-through, but honestly I just don't buy things that are see-through. But this first one here is black. It has the elasticated part at the top. It's this nice silky material, probably not silk, although let me check. No, it's nylon and elastane, so it just feels silky. And then down the bottom it's got this beautiful lace detailing, and I actually, when I grabbed this, I wondered if I could wear this on its own, so just as a skirt. And I think I probably could. The only reason that I don't is because it does have the seams that run down it, because it's meant to be an undergarment. It's not designed to be the piece that people see. So it does have the seams running down it, and I think that is a bit of a giveaway. But I do think it's beautiful with the lace at the bottom. It just looks so nice. So I think maybe one day I'll wear it as part of an outfit. And the other one that I picked up is in this cream color, which again obviously is meant to go underneath things. You're not meant to see it, but again it has this nice silky feeling material and a bit of the lace down the bottom. This one definitely would be a little see-through to wear on its own, and it's just not designed to be worn on its own. But this is the sort of thing, because it is light in color as well, that I could put underneath a see-through dress or a see-through skirt. Next I've got a few belts to show you. I'm going to start with the one that I've worn the most. Again, these are all from Jonathan's grandma, and she was tiny, so these belts are really good as waist belts to cinch in a dress. Definitely not ones that are going to fit around jeans, because they're not big enough for my hips. But this first one is a dark brown textured material. The label has been peeled off, but I would say this is probably real leather, because my black belt that I've worn a fair bit is all like kinked where it's been buckled, and you know, you can just really tell that it's been worn because it's not leather, and so the material is just not as hardy as leather is. But this one, I mean, she must have worn this for years and years, and I've had it for a year and a half, and I've worn it a lot in that time, and it still looks absolutely perfect. So this one is my favorite out of the three that I'm about to show you because of the way it buckles. So instead of actually having to hook it through and do the whole buckle thing, you just slot the end through this little gap here, and then it's got a little popper. I don't know how well you can see this, but you literally just pop it into one of the holes, and then you don't have to like do all that fiddly stuff. So I just find this really user-friendly. I also love the color of it. I wear this with all my like neutral colored dresses. Yeah, so this is my most worn. This one is also brown, but a lot lighter and a lot warmer in color, and the buckle on this one is gold rather than silver, and it's also like the normal type of buckle. So I would say this one is leather as well, but this one has like a suede kind of material on the other side. But again, there's no label, so I couldn't tell you for sure. My favorite thing about this one is the tone of the buckle. I love this like brassy, old vintage style. So that one I don't wear as much, but I have still gotten a fair bit of use out of it. And then the third one, I think I've only worn once because it's blue. This was totally unexpected when I saw this in her wardrobe. I was like, oh my goodness, you have a blue belt? But yeah, I figure I'm like the only person in the family that would probably wear a blue belt. So I picked it up and I have worn it. I wore it last Christmas with my plain white dress, and I really liked it with that. I don't know what other outfit I would put it with, because you know, you really need quite a plain outfit in order to wear a statement belt. But yeah, this one actually doesn't have holes at all, so you just buckle it through both sides. You just literally put it wherever you want it. I know this is not one that I'm going to get a ton of uses out of because it is quite a statement piece, but one that I'm happy to keep in my wardrobe and just wear every now and then when my outfit calls for it. The last few pieces that I have to show you are all jewellery items, which are the ones that I picked up the most recently. So first of all, this watch. This, out of everything, makes me think of Jonathan's grandma because I saw her wearing this all the time. So it is a tiny face with the gold detailing around it and then the black leather straps. I wore this quite a few times when I first got it. I absolutely love it. I love that it's so small and dainty, but I find the leather straps just a bit hot when the weather is hot, and as we're just about in summer now, I'm just gonna leave this for the next few months, but definitely something that I will wear every day when it's a bit cooler. I managed to pick up some of her beautiful gold jewellery. So firstly, this necklace, this long gold necklace, which I have worn it a couple of times just long over a really plain top, but actually my favourite way to wear it is to like fold it in half and wear it almost as like a choker because it becomes quite short then, and it makes the chain a little bit thicker because there's 2 chains. So I really like that with something with a bit of a higher neckline, and then you can just see this poking over the top. And I also picked up this beautiful gold bracelet. So this has these little like triangle sections that just fit together, and this is just so beautiful and dainty and exactly my sort of jewelry taste. This would be the perfect thing to wear with a top like this that has the 3/4 sleeves, because then you do have your bracelet on show. And then a few pairs of earrings. So these I think are the ones that I've worn the most since I've had them. These are beautiful jade earrings, and I have worn them quite a few times since I've had them. Really nice to pair with a plain outfit, or if my outfit has a bit of green in it, I quite often have been reaching for these. And I really like that they have the gold hardware. I also picked up these ones here, which is so hard to show you. These have navy blue, green, and gold in them. These ones I would say are like my most statement earrings, so I have worn them a couple of times. I think they're absolutely beautiful, something quite special to my collection as well. I know for a lot of people these are not a statement, but I wear really dainty, really small jewelry a lot of the time, so these are quite big for me. And then finally I have these little blue studs, which I actually wore for the first time yesterday. So these really are just very little, very dainty, just a little pop of colour. I wore them yesterday with just a simple white and black dress, and it was perfect just to have that tiny little pop of colour. And that is my secondhand wardrobe. Those are all of the pieces that I have that are pre-loved. Obviously 99% of it is from Jonathan's grandma, and it's so nice just to think of her in the morning when I put one of these pieces on. That brings me to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy the content that I make and you haven't subscribed already, I would love it if you did so. I upload a new video at least once a week, and I will see you again next time. Bye!